Before I came to community, I studied education and Spanish at the University of Dayton. I had a double major there, and I taught middle school math for a couple of years in El Paso, Texas. So that was kind of interesting because I ended up in El Paso because I had met this group of sisters that lived there and who really served on the border. And so my time teaching was really an immersion into what it means to be an apostolic sister. So I got this behind the scenes understanding that sisters were normal people who ate food and told jokes and drank beer and just did a lot of normal things, and sometimes got along and sometimes didn't. So that was a great experience for me, not only because I saw how normal and human the sisters were, but also because my first year of teaching was really difficult, and I know that that community support helped me through. So I got a sense of how important community is in living out someone's ministry and living out my ministry. So from there, I was kind of thinking about being a sister and wasn't really sure about teaching, but knew that I needed more time and space to discern my call. I knew that in the hectic life of being a teacher, I wasn't really giving it the time that I wanted to. So that's when I decided to become an intern at the White Violet Center for Eco-Justice, and I spent a year on the farm, which was really an amazing experience. I knew that I was excited about the farming part, but I was really surprised to find a deepening in my spirituality and prayer life that came with just having a little bit more space and being in this beautiful place where you can't help but know that you're surrounded by God's creation. So during that year, I really was in the throes of discernment. I loved this group of sisters I had lived with before, and I was meeting this new group of sisters who I also really resonated with. So there was a lot of back and forth, and that was a really difficult year as far as listening to how God was calling me. And there were a number of different little nudges along the way, but in the end, I talked with this group of sisters that I had lived with, Sisters of Charity, and they looked at me and they said, "Tracey, you know, when you talk about the Sisters of Providence, you get this light on your face. You have this joy and this energy that you don't have when you're talking about other possibilities." So that was when I really knew that there was something there I needed to explore. And that sort of led into me doing my discernment guide year. And during that year, I moved back to Indianapolis, and I worked as an AmeriCorps Vista, and I was working on fresh food projects. So I worked with Indie Hunger Network and did a lot of community organizing around food access, and I learned a lot in that and working with communities that I could then bring back to the woods. And so then the next year I came, and here I am.